Hey everyone, so I'm going to be straight with you guys right out the gate. There's a brand new mineable coin out there. It's called Pearl. It just launched and it hit its all-time high of $1.65, and right now it's sitting roughly around 18 cents. That's a drop of nearly 90% from its all-time high. And I've got my 3 GPU rig of 3070s mining on it, as well as my gaming PC, which hopefully you guys can see right here. So today I'm going to explain exactly what happened to the price, whether it's actually over or whether this thing still has legs. So let's get into it. All right, so first, what is Pearl? I did intend on actually having another video before this one, but unfortunately, I wanted to go ahead and test it out for a little bit, and I found out what I wanted to find out on it. So I'm gonna keep this quick because I want to spend most of my time talking about the price situation. Pearl, the ticker is PRL. It's a layer 1 blockchain that launched its mainnet on April 27th. Its big idea is something called proof of useful work. So instead of your GPU running whatever algorithm it would normally run, which is basically pointless number crunching that doesn't do anything except secure the blockchain, Pearl uses a matrix multiplication, or matmul, which is the core mathematical operation behind AI computations. So when you're mining Pearl, your GPU is literally doing AI workloads at the same time. Real compute, real value. They partnered together with a company called Together AI, a legitimate AI interface company, to run Google Gamma model endpoints through the Pearl network. Developers using that endpoint get 25% discount subsidized by mined PRL token. So the utility case is real, at least on paper. That's the quick version. Now let's talk about what actually happened to the price, because that's why you're here, right? So here's how this whole thing played out. Pearl launched quietly at the end of April. For about a month, barely anyone was paying attention to it. And then on May 27th, a post went viral on X or Twitter, however you want to use it, claiming that a wallet linked to A16Z, the massive Silicon Valley venture capital firm, had quietly accumulated over $1.5 million worth of Pearl. And guys, the market went absolutely nuts. Within 2 days, Pearl pumped from around 60 cents all the way up to $1.65. That's a 150% gain in 48 hours. The mining community blew up. Trading volume exploded 5,500% from the prior day. GPU mining forums were calling it the Ethereum revival. I flipped my rig on. A lot of you probably flipped your rigs on, right? If you didn't, maybe you missed out on the boat. We'll talk about that here in a few. Now, here's the thing I have to be honest about. That A16Z wallet rumor, it has not been verified. There is a real connection between A16Z and Pearl. A16Z Crypto Research published an article in January of 2026 about Pearl's founders' proof of useful work algorithm. And then they deleted it. So there's something there. But whether that specific wallet actually belongs to A16Z, nobody has confirmed it yet. It's highly possible that someone in the community spread that rumor specifically to pump the price. And if that's what happened, it worked perfectly. Because by that time, reality caught up. A lot of people were holding bags at $1.65. All right, real quick, guys, I wanted to interject here. If you guys are interested in videos like this, please let me know down in the comments. If you guys have a topic that you guys want me to cover or do some research on, let me know down below. If you guys are interested in mining, whether it's Bitcoin, Pearl, like what we're talking about right now, or any other coin, check my description down below. All the referral links and discount codes are down there. Save you guys a couple bucks. And it helps out the channel tremendously. Without you guys, I can't do what I enjoy doing, which is making videos for you guys. Okay, so why is Pearl crashing? Because this is the real conversation we need to have, and it comes down to one word, and that's emissions. And I would also say maybe a little bit of greed on our part as the miners. Let me explain this in a way that actually makes sense. Every single day, new Pearl coins are being mined and dumped into the market. And the amount being created daily right now is absolutely enormous relative to how many coins are actually in circulation. Here's the math. Pearl has a total supply of 2.1 billion coins. Since launch about 5 weeks ago, roughly 8.8% of that has been mined. That's about 185 million coins in circulation. And based on the emission rate, we're looking at somewhere around 5 million new Pearl being mined every single day. 5 million new coins every day, mostly being sold immediately by us to cover our costs, right? It's the name of the game for my crypto miners. You want to take profits when you can. Now, if we were to compare that to another coin, like let's say Dogecoin, for instance, I know a lot of you are also mining Doge or have considered it. Doge has a fixed block reward of 10,000 Doge per block, and blocks come every 60 seconds. That's 14.4 million Doge mined per day. Sounds like more, right? But here's what actually matters. Let's look at this as a percentage of supply. I'll give you guys the numbers. Doge has 153 billion coins in circulation right now. 14.4 million new coins per day is 0.009% of its total supply. In a year, Doge inflates about 3.3%. That is a slow, manageable, predictable drip of new supply. All right, so we're talking about Pearl right now, right? So Pearl has 185 million coins in circulation right now. 5 million new coins per day. That is almost 3% of the entire circulating supply added every single day. In a week, that's 20%. Let that sink in. 20% in a week. That is not a slow drip. That's a flood. And every one of those new coins is being mined by us, the GPU operators, who are by nature selling to cover electricity costs, rent, or just taking profit. I fall into that category. One of those three, maybe all three of those are what I'm looking at. Miners don't hold. I've said this before, and I'm literally living this right now. My strategy is sell often, and so is everyone else's. And to make matters worse, on May 30th, a mining pool update slashed the per hour rewards by roughly half. Overnight, miners who were barely profitable suddenly got pushed below break even, and the reaction was immediate panic selling. Pearl dropped another 7% in a single day on that news alone. Thin liquidity on the smaller exchanges amplified every sell order. So the crash isn't mysterious. It's just emissions plus sell pressure plus a rumor-driven pump wearing off. Basically supply and demand. So here's what I'm doing. Despite all of this, and I want you guys to understand the risk clearly before I say this, I do still have my GPU rig and my gaming PC that's running on Windows mining Pearl at the moment. And I gotta tell you guys, this gaming PC is making a lot more now than it was when I was running on Salad per day. And because it's just a gaming PC, it doesn't really qualify for some of the other AI rental platforms. But all the research that I've done does show that Pearl is still incredibly profitable, especially if you got the really upper end GPUs. So the reason I'm still mining it, even with the price down, is simple. My strategy has been to sell often the whole time. I'm not holding a bag and hoping for a recovery. I'm mining, converting, and moving on regularly. At current prices, that's still generating returns better than alternatives I've tested. The Windows mining software is actually pretty clean to set up. The main pools right now are AlphaMine, which the community is pointing to for the fastest available miner, and PearlHash. Both have Windows compatibility versions or options. Me personally, I have mine running on luckypool.io, and I was able to download the mining software from their website. If you are going to download any software from any of these sites, make sure you're on the official site, not some other site, because there's a lot of bad actors out there. Please remember that. But let me be very clear. If your electricity costs are high, like they are here where I reside, the math is tighter than it looks. At our average residential rate of around 22 cents per kilowatt hour, you need to be smart about which GPUs you're running. And you need to be selling, not sitting. And here's the real big question that everyone's actually asking right now. Is Pearl actually dead? And I think the honest answer is not necessarily, but the path forward is a lot harder than it looked a week ago. Here's the bull case for Pearl still working out. The proof of useful work concept is genuinely different from anything else out there right now. The Together AI partnership is real. The utility of running actual AI workloads through a decentralized GPU network, that's not made up. That's all real. And as the token price comes down, the emissions rate actually slows too, because Pearl uses a smooth declining emissions curve rather than a fixed block reward or a Bitcoin style halving. So as time goes on, fewer new coins get minted per day, which should gradually reduce sell pressure. But here's the bear case, and it's serious. The price right now, around 18 to 20 cents, is actually below what it costs to mine Pearl on the cloud platforms Pearl officially offers. Early May production cost estimates were 30 to 50 cents per Pearl. So right now, cloud miners are mining at a loss. That's not sustainable. Either the price goes up or cloud miners leave, or both. And the broader risk is that the utility thesis is largely theoretical. Proof of useful work right now only supports integer matrix multiplication. It doesn't yet support the low precision floating point operations that modern AI training actually needs. So the your GPU is doing real AI work story, it's partially true, partially a work in progress. Whether that gets built out into something that real companies pay for at scale, that's still an open question. So Pearl is not dead, but it is in a critical phase right now where either the fundamentals prove themselves or this becomes another name on a long list of GPU mining coins that had a great 2-week run and then faded out. So here's where I landed on this. I'm still mining Pearl, but I went in with my eyes open and I'm selling regularly, not hoping for a recovery to $1.65. The hype phase is over. What we're in now is the reality phase, and that's actually when you find out if the project is real. If you're thinking about getting into Pearl, understand what you're signing up for. The emissions are heavy, sell pressure is real, and the price could absolutely go lower before it stabilizes. Mine what you're comfortable mining, set your sell targets, and don't FOMO into new hardware based on week 1 numbers. I'm going to keep tracking my own numbers on this and give you guys an update, especially when I can show you the actual rig footage. Make sure you subscribe so you catch all that. All the mining pool information, exchange links, hardware links, everything is in the description down below. Use them if they help. And I want to hear from you guys. Are you guys mining Pearl? Did you get caught in the pump? Are you waiting for a lower entry? Let me know down in the comments. I actually read all of them. Like the video if this helped you cut through all the noise. Share with someone in the mining community, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out and have a great rest of your day.